Well, hey friends, it is honey harvesting day, and if you're thinking, wait a minute, can you harvest honey in the middle of winter? Well, we are today. If you saw my last video, you know that one of our beehives did not make it, and we're going to salvage some of the honey. Go back and watch that video and you can kind of see what all I saved and what I took out. But I've got 4 frames here. Some of them are full, some of them are half full, and we're gonna harvest some honey. This honey, I've been like licking it every time I walk by. I mean, you know, with a clean finger, but it like literally tastes like raspberry. So I'm super excited. We don't have one of those spinner extractors, so I'm gonna do what they call the crush and strain method. I'm not a super huge fan of it because we're gonna be ruining the comb that the bees have worked so hard to rebuild, and we're gonna be destroying that. So when I give this back to the bees, they're gonna have to start all over. Whereas an extractor just spins it out and saves the honeycomb, and then they just fill it back up. But since I only have 4 frames here and I don't have an extractor, and it's not really the time of year to be renting one or using one, we're just gonna do the crush and strain. So I got some of this organic, it's like cheesecloth. It's kind of wrinkly because I just washed it and pulled it out of the dryer. And we're gonna just experiment. I watched a lot of videos on how to do this, so this is not a how-to video. This is me learning and figuring out how to do it, so I just wanna take you guys along the journey so we can see how much honey we get. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I have a large Pyrex bowl here, and I just stretched the cloth over, and I tied it on the bottom because I didn't have a big enough rubber band to go around there. So it'll sink down a little bit, and it'll take a while for this to drain. And then over here, I have another pot because I'm pretty sure we're gonna overfill this strainer area. So I'm gonna somehow figure out how to get that one on there when we, you know, overfill this. So let's go ahead and start getting this honey out. All right, can you see this? I don't know. I'm using this metal spatula thing, and we're just gonna scrape this off. So I don't know, let's see how this goes. Oh wow, look at that honey pouring out. Can you see it?
It might rip onto the side of the bowl.
Yeah, I don't know. Ugh, come on, it's not scraping off. Can you move, mouse? Okay.
Oh, your bowl's
Oh yeah, hold that. Okay, this is not scraping very easily. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Ah, it's like stuck on here. Come on. This is gonna be a sticky mess. Come on. Oh my goodness.
I don't see any honey in the bowl yet.
It's gonna take. Oh, here we go. This. There we go. Oh, come on. Well, the spatula scraper is not as good as I thought it was gonna be. Okay. There we go.
Mom, there was some honey on the counter.
There was honey on the counter?
I
You snitched it?
There's still some. You can snitch some.
I can snitch some? Okay, I'll snitch them in a minute. Oh, wow. Whew. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, this is better.
I don't see any honey in the bowl yet.
Yeah, it'll take a while. Ooh. Okay. Oops, sorry. All right, so that's one whole side. And I didn't scrape all this because there's no honey in that side. Okay, let's flip this around.
Dad?
Whew, my arm's getting tired. It is fun. The thing is, what do I do with this frame? Normally you would give this back to the bees to clean off, but it's winter and they can't really go in there. Let's see. Oh, it's so good.
Mom, you should snitch.
So good.
Here.
I should snitch from there. So this is our last frame, and there's only a little bit on this side. So this is actually pretty easy to scrape. Kind of hard to get off the spatula though.
Yeah, because it's honey.
Sticky. Ooh, this is the
it's
really late honey. Maybe I should have kept this one separate. Okay, so we're all finished. I've got the other frames there. They're probably gonna drip honey everywhere. So I've got the one pan here, and then this one, it looks really full, and it's already like starting to drip down. There's this that's on the inside, okay. Look at that. All right, so we're gonna see how long this takes, and we're just gonna let it sit there for a while, and we will report back. So this pan here is sagging too much because I couldn't get it up tight enough. So I think I'm going to just untie it. Oh, that's heavy. Lift it up. You can see the honey kind of stringing down. And I'm gonna see if I can hang this on something, see if we can't get it to drain. So I tied it to the cabinet handle. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but it is dripping. It's dripping down there. It's gonna take a while. I went ahead and I tied up the other one because it was starting to sag down in here. And I actually distributed the weight between both those because it was quite a bit heavier. But look at all that gorgeous honey. And then this one is dripping really good too. And we've got tons down there. I found these adorable bee ball mason jars on Amazon. I will link them down below. I bought them a while back because I thought they would be perfect for our honey. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash these up. There's 6 in this pack. I also have another pack, but I'm just gonna start out with these 6. I'm gonna save out the lids because these are actual canning lids that I wanna save for canning my garden stuff. So I'm gonna use a different lid for these, so I'll show you what that is later. But for now, I'm just gonna get these all nice and clean and let them air dry overnight. It has been almost a full 24 hours and it is still draining. It's like the width of a string. Look how much honey that is. And then there's this one over here. This one is still draining. That is a ton of honey. So it has been hanging here overnight for almost 24 hours. It looks pretty dry, but I can still see some honey in there. And obviously there's lots more in there because it's still draining. So I'm gonna bottle some of this up in my nice freshly cleaned honeybee jars. Okay, I'm hoping not to make a big mess, but since it's still draining, put the jar there and then we can use this to drain the honey into. I may have not thought through this very well because I'm not sure how to get it from here into the jar without making a mess. I should have just put the jar underneath here and kept switching it out as they filled up. That would have been the smart thing to do. My bread's beeping, hold on. Okay, my bread's safely out. All right, we're gonna just pour this and see how this goes. Oh, don't make a mess. Ah! Okay. Did not make a mess, but it was not the easiest thing in the world. Look how beautiful that is. Ah! That is so beautiful. It's a lot darker than what I was hoping. Some of it was really light, some of it was a little bit darker. I should have saved out the lighter one because the lighter one is the earlier spring honey and it's just so good. I mean, this is good too. It just has a darker, richer flavor, but it's 1,000 times better than store-bought honey. Okay, let's fill up some more jars. Probably I'm going to run out of jars. Okay, round 2 without making a mess. Here we go. Hands are so sticky. So we got about 7 pints of honey. So this one is still dripping in that one. That one is still barely dripping, although there's lots more in there. But I used up all my bee jars. I did have more in the basement, but I didn't pull them out to wash them. So I just have this jar here. Here are the lids that I'm going to be using. They're stainless steel with this little silicone or rubber gasket. So I'm going to put these on, but first the ones that are kind of messy, I'm going to wipe off with a clean damp rag just so that way the lid doesn't stick on there. If you ever deal with honey in jars, then you know what I'm talking about. I'll link these down below. I got them from Amazon and sometimes it's a hit or miss whether they fit the jars, but they actually fit these jars pretty well. I'm going to continue to let these hang. I've switched these out for some other jars and you can see how they're still dripping. So I'm going to let them hang for a little while longer and we'll check back in on them. But in the meantime, look how beautiful these 7 full pints are. I just cannot believe how beautiful this honey is. So these bags have been hanging for another almost 24 hours and look how much these have filled out. They're pretty much slowly dripping and I think they're mostly done. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these and store the wax until I can render the wax. This one here, I'm gonna turn into creamed honey, which I'll show you maybe in a separate video how I do that. And this one I'm going to do some fermented honey garlic, fill it with garlic cloves and then dump more honey in there. I went ahead and took down the bags so that way I can save the wax. And when I opened it up, I saw that there was still quite a bit of honey down deep in the bottom. As you can see, it's a lot darker up there and the bottom down below is lighter. So instead of letting it continue to hang for a really long time, I just have my strainer here and I'm taking that top layer off that is still filled with honey and I'm gonna put it in the strainer over a bowl. So here are all the dry wax cappings. I mean, yeah, there's still a little bit of honey in there. And then over here, I'm just gonna try to crush this through into this bowl here and see how much I can get. Crushing it through with the knife did not really work, so I had to go with a backup plan. So I covered this with plastic wrap just to protect it, and I had it in the oven with the light on just for a little bit of warmth overnight. And you can see how much honey it has collected. I think this is pretty much done. But yeah, that was super exciting to get that much honey from that little bit. I still can't believe how much honey we got from those frames. It was super sad to lose my bees. If you did not see that video, be sure to go check it out. I'll link it in the description for you. I really enjoyed this process. It was a lot of work, but it was super rewarding to get all of this gorgeous honey. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. And next I'm going to do a honey fermented garlic video as well as a creamed honey video. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time.